Have you ever felt like all you can think about is food? You are writing an email while one part of your brain is negotiating whether you can have a snack from the break room or you already had enough food. Or you are sitting at a meeting pretending to listen, but you are mentally negotiating whether you can have pasta for dinner. I used to have constant food noise too. I was lying in bed at night thinking about what I'm having for breakfast, or I was thinking about what I'm having for lunch while eating breakfast. I was planning the food, worrying about every bite, and thinking about food constantly and reading cookbooks like novels. And this constant food noise is mentally draining. But the most frustrating part is that even after all this planning and negotiating, after a stressful day, you might still end up overeating or binging in the evening. And my clients are smart, disciplined people. They read the books, listened to the podcast, bought the courses, and it's still happening. So the problem is not knowledge or discipline. Food noise is actually a signal from your body, and the planning and the overeating happen at two different neurological states. In this video, I will show you what food noise is, why it happens, and how to silence it. I'm Rita May, emotional eating and binge eating expert, and I help you outgrow these eating patterns so you can become the version of you who doesn't need food to cope. So let me show you what actually food noise sounds like. You wake up thinking already about food. Okay, today has to be different. I ate too much yesterday. I need to get back on track. Maybe I should cut sugar again. No, that made me binge last time. Maybe more protein. Maybe fasting. Maybe I just need to exercise more. Am I hungry enough? Maybe too hungry. What did I eat? What am I allowed to eat later? Did I ruin the day? Should I restart tomorrow? Did I gain weight? And maybe someone brings pastries to work. Suddenly, your brain locks onto them. Even if you don't eat them, it's a cognitive load. You keep thinking about those pastries until they are gone. And what's fascinating is that all this mental loop is happening while you are functioning at a very high level. You are answering emails, you lead meetings, you work with clients, you take care of the kids, and you help everyone else. But underneath all of that, there is this constant open browser tab in your brain. The planning, the negotiating, the obsessing, the restarting, the guilt, the calculations, and the internal arguments all day long. At 9 a.m., you are incredibly rational, clear-headed, motivated, and you are certain that today you can stick to your plan. And then 9 p.m. comes and it feels like you have a completely different brain. You are standing in the kitchen thinking, I don't even care anymore. I just want to eat, right? It's because the version of you who made the plan in the morning was in a completely different neurological state than the version of you in the evening who is in a stressed, depleted, overwhelmed, and emotionally activated state. Decisions made in a calm brain state often disappear in a stressed brain state. In the stressed brain state, the familiar ingrained habit takes over. As they say, when emotions are high, intelligence is low. And honestly, that's why so many intelligent women feel broken. Because they keep thinking, I know what to do, so why can't I do it? Because you don't need more information. What you need to do is get back as soon as possible from this emotionally activated state when the intelligence is low to the calm, focused mind state where you can actually make decisions, right? Where you can think clearly. I'm currently enrolled in a coaching program called Positive Intelligence Program led by Shirzad Shamin, Stanford lecturer and CEO of the largest coaching training in the world. And he teaches these so-called PQ reps, positive intelligence reps, these 10-second short little exercises that helps you get back into, from the emotionally charged state, back into the calm, focused state. He calls this state the sage state. I call it the wise mind in my coaching program. So what he actually teaches us is how to strengthen our self-command and our sage brain, this calm, wise brain state. And I have already used in my coaching programs many of the concepts that he teaches, just called differently. But I have learned many new things from him too, especially how to implement these effectively and also how to weaken the 9 saboteurs that create all the negative emotions and thoughts in our lives. So I'm going to adapt what I learned to emotional eating and binge eating, and will teach my clients step by step in my coaching programs. And I'm also going to share more about this in my future videos. And this is also why I don't primarily think that all the cravings and the food noise is food addiction, because most women are not addicted to food, they are addicted to the relief that they get from food, because they are trapped in a chronic nervous system loop involving hypervigilance, restriction, emotional overload, self-monitoring, judging themselves all the time, depletion, and relief seeking. And food simply becomes the tool that can create that relief for them. And I think that the saddest part about food noise is not even the eating itself, but how much life it steals from you. Because all this constant background processing, this background noise is so draining, so mentally draining and exhausting. Imagine trying to work on your laptop while 37 tabs are open and you have to pay attention to all of them. And that's how many people live mentally. And after years and years of this food noise, they start to think that this is my personality. I'm obsessive, I get addicted, and I have no self-control. But what I've seen over and over again, that when the nervous system calms down, the food noise quiets down too. And the people I work with are often so shocked when this pattern dissolves, because they expect it to be some dramatic change, but it's actually just becoming quiet. You suddenly realize that hours went on and you didn't think about food. You had dinner and you moved on, and you are sitting on the couch at night and you are not mentally wrestling with yourself. It might be a weird comparison, but it's kind of like going to the bathroom. You don't plan it when you do it, or how long you are going to stay there, or if you are doing it right. You just, when you need to go, you go. Right? And when you are hungry, you eat. When you are not, you don't think about food. And you can have a snack or on your table for later, or the pastry in the break room. And if you're hungry, you eat some. And if you are not, you just don't care about it. Of course, there could be situations when you need to plan ahead what and when you eat because of work schedule or traveling, but it's more like a practical thinking about it, not like trying to manipulate your body that how much you eat and when. So what helps to silence the food noise is regulating your nervous system and coming back to this calm state, right? Not creating artificial scarcity around food. I talked about this in this video. Disconnecting mood from food. We are not using food anymore to change our mood or deal with our emotions. And by rebuilding trust with our bodies instead of fighting our body. Because often food noise is not your body demanding food, but your nervous system is demanding relief, right? Except when it's like extreme restrictions, then it's your body demanding food. And the good news is food noise is not permanent. I've seen women silencing their food noise who had it for decades, and I also silence my food noise too. I will link a free training below where I explain the real mechanisms that can make you feel out of control around food and what to do instead to break free from emotional eating and binge eating and food obsession. And if you want to know how long will it take, watch this video next. See you there.